Hello everyone, Tanoshi here and welcome back once again to another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. So today we'll be having a different video here where we're going to see the beginning of our campaign of our 10th anniversary, and we're going to talk about the good, the bad and the ugly. Now this is not a critical video of Dokkan. We're just going to see where our expectations are, what could be improved, and what can we expect to make this the best celebration ever in Dokkan history. Now, one thing I wanted to talk about, let's start with some positives. Positives, there were plenty. Well, blue zones. It's always nice to see a blue zone and a red zone stage. We do want more content for the game. We want those events to come as often as they can because they give missions, they are challenging, they reward. If you get to pull the character, you get to go forward and test a new character in a difficult event. So they are fun. I like those events. We had the red zone battles just prior to the campaign that led up to the campaign. We haven't had anything new yet since the beginning of the celebration, but that is fine. This is pre-anniversary content. It is great. I love that. We also have the Tale of Super Warriors. We have those where you get a few stones, you can grind awakening medals, you can grind training items, you can grind a variety of things. These for new players are absolutely essential. They don't give many stones. Each stage, I believe it's 4 stages altogether. Each stage give out 10 stones plus a give and take 2, 3, 4, 5 stones on missions in there. So in a total about 45, 46 stones altogether. It does help, but for me, in my opinion, it is a good event. We need to have those things for new players, especially during anniversaries, but at the same time, it kind of lacks a little bit of more challenging events for older players. Now, it's not a criticism of Dokkan. We know that the first week of the celebration is about the units. And on that regard, boy oh boy, is Dokkan going absolutely fire. If we go back to the celebration content, I missed that, to the celebration content, we know here at the very beginning that if you scroll down, we have the top legendary summon carnivals and the Dokkan festivals. Brilliant units. I think so far Vegeta's number 1. In my opinion, SSJ3 Goku is number 2, beg your pardon, and Vegeta, he's probably for me a top 7, top 8, which is a shame, but again, I didn't pull him, I just saw people using him, so let's not be overcritical there. I think either way, great units with great mechanics. So these are the good things. I think there's plenty of good to come. We saw that we have the Porunga Dragon Balls, which one of the sets will give us the rainbow tickets. Make sure, guys, you're grinding all those rainbow tickets which are in game right now. They're simple missions, clean specific story events. Just go through them, make sure you collect those tickets because you'll be able to use those tickets in one of the part 2 or part 1 banners to see if you can pull out the new character. I've always been very fortunate with these tickets. I always manage to pull a brand new unit. So make sure you do those, guys. These are absolutely essential. The Porunga Dragon Balls, you have sets of things that you might need, but one of the sets, usually it's 3 sets of Porunga Dragon Balls to collect during the celebration, and one of those sets will include tickets. Last year, I believe we were able to have a total of 21 tickets to do 3 summons of 7. So make sure you do it, guys. Make sure you do all the special missions. Another positive, the Dragon Ores, the green Dragon Ores finally coming to global. As I've said to you guys before, guys, make sure you do those missions. Those Dragon Ores really add up. I have about 460 Dragon Stones worth of Dragon Ores in my account, saving it for a rainy day. When I have no more stones and there's a ban I'm going to summon on, I'll just exchanging them. So these are good things. The summon event of friend points, where you get, did I pass it? Oh, there you go. The 10th anniversary friend summon. It's brilliant. If you have points, go and summon for it. I've got plenty of Elder Kais and Funky Kais. It's great for you to stock up because, frankly, he hasn't had an LR unit to be on that burner for many years. Your friends' point at this point, they're absolutely worthless. So when you have the opportunity to summon for something useful, just go it. Just stock yourself up with Funky Kais, Elder Kais, and Dozing Kais. Make sure you do that. And we had our redstone. We had our redstone on the pre-anniversary as well. Make sure you're saving that stone. We know we have plenty of units that you can see there. Janemba and Gogeta, which they've got their Super Easy announced. So make sure you've claimed your stone. Make sure you save it to see, in your opinion, what would be the best character for you to exchange before the celebration begins. Now, these are the good. Now, the bad and the ugly. I know we always talk about content. Content in Dokkan, we always tend to rush through the content that we have, and then we complain that there isn't much content anymore. But the special revamps of some of these events, they are nothing great. The Wiz event got new missions. The Clash of Rivals, yes, you get these kill orbs, but they are not that fantastic, to be fair. If you've been playing a while and grinding the Wiz event, you kind of can skip that one, but you can get good stuff, but you've got, just doing that every day as your daily missions, and hopefully you get something good of that. But so far, I haven't got absolutely nothing on that event. And we have here the 10th anniversary battle, which is a revamp of the 8th, the 9th, and now the 10th. There are some skill orbs there that you can collect, guys. Most of them, I don't find them appropriate to the characters that they want us to use them on. But still, you can go in, it's an event, you can go and have fun, beat some stages. And maybe you do get some skill orbs that you can use in a different character with the same name. It can happen. And again, another good event here, Dokkan Chronicles. I believe the Dokkan Chronicles is nice, but I do have a bit of criticism of that. It is a nice event when you have different battles with different characters from each anniversary, and they are bundled up all together, and you beat them and you get coupons. And those coupons let you exchange for, I believe, is that 30 stones? Let's go and have a look. So here we are at the barber shop where we can exchange those coupons or tickets, and when you grind them on that Dokkan Chronicles, you are able to exchange for up to 15 stones. And here is where my criticism goes. And again, it's the beginning of the celebration, guys. Don't take that as a harsh criticism in Dokkan. I'm just looking out for free-to-play players. People who are dolphins or whales, they can spend in a game. 15 stones for you to grind a new event, for me, it isn't enough. For me, this is the 10th anniversary. I've said this before. I would be disappointed if the 10th anniversary is just better than the 9th anniversary. I think the 10th anniversary should be way better than many anniversaries put together. We're talking about a multi-billion pound company. I know it's a gacha game. They're here to make money. But we're talking about a 10th year of a mobile game being on the market. I think the 10th year celebration should be more catered towards the players, to thank them for that. Obviously, they can make money out of it. But I don't think in this event giving 50 stones. Or perhaps in part 2 or 3, they will increase the missions and the number of stones. Perhaps. We don't know that yet, because the missions end in 38 days. But I'm saying this because it's the 10th anniversary. Our first login, let's have a look at our first login. So here we are at our first login, and there we are, 30 stones, 10 tickets, and 5 of the free-to-play Goku for a celebration. Now, forgive me, why can that be 100 stones? You would do 2 multis. who it's actually going to benefit is the players. The reason why I have this criticism, because there is a theme going on of 30 stones in here. You go for the social media campaign currently, it's 30 stones. Last anniversary was 60. Why is 30 this year? And I think if there was a year that these should be more, is the 10th anniversary, is the hallmark. And I've said this previously, I have high expectations for this celebration. I don't want it to be just better. I want it to be that better in a level that is unparalleled to any other celebrations. But then you could have the criticism that, oh, but Tanoshi, if the celebration is that great, and then comes the 11th anniversary, people are going to think that the 11th anniversary should be better. And I think not necessarily, because we did have events in the past that gave a lot of stones during anniversaries, and we don't have these events anymore. For example, we used to have the Boomer event, where you could grind 10 stones a day. That event came in a couple of anniversaries and then it never came back, and you don't see anyone complaining about it. Why can't we have a similar event, which is as 10th anniversary exclusive event, where you do 10 stages of a certain event and you get 10 stones every day? And you're going to say, oh, Tanoshi, but that's too much. They're not going to do that. But guys, 10 stones a day is about 300 stones in a month. Do that for about 30 days. You get 300 stones. Are you telling me that a player is going to manage to pull every single brand new character with 30 stones? I know it's a gacha game. I know they want to make money. But we've been 10 years with you, Dokkan. 10 years. And for those who believe that asking for those stones for free-to-play players is a bit too much, and again, I don't want to sound negative and be the criticism, I just think that this anniversary should be different, set apart from others. In previous anniversaries, if you're a veteran player, you do remember the 1 million Dragon Stone giveaway, that both global and JP players could grind 10 stones a day until the 1 million stones ran out. Dokkan didn't went bankrupt. On the contrary, Dokkan made more money. They continue to have top grossing because more people joined the game. And we had the campaign previously to the anniversary for the people to come back in players, and it was a huge success. And when you have loads of players now coming back and new players joining, and if you come in and you get 30 stones and you can get a multi, or you get 100, 200 stones and then you do a few multis and you don't get anything, it's just going to remind the players that left why they left in the first place. If you don't have more players joining the game, there is no people watching content. If there's no people to do content, there's no people connected to the game. If people are not connected to the game, they just stop playing. We all lose. And that's, for me, that's the criticism. We know that in no anniversaries, we usually are given about 1,500 stones, give and take a few hundred. But I think the 10th anniversary should set apart from all those anniversaries. We're talking about a multi-billion pound game, a multi-billion dollar game on the market successfully for 10 years. Guys, we've just hit top grossing on iOS, on JP. And even if you don't reach top gross in every single country on global, you still higher up in the list with higher up sales. And it's my criticism. I think this should be better. I think 30 stones doesn't give a new player that comes in an extra multi. For me, it's a bit of a letdown. Not because it's bad. I don't think it's bad, because they're also giving those tickets, and those tickets are huge. But I think it should be a different level. I think it should be better. My personal criticism, for me, that's the bad. But there is a lot of the anniversary to go through. We could have new events. We could have more stones coming in, more top grossing in a couple of weeks' time with Part 2. So, all in all, this is the view of the first few days. I'm slightly disappointed with that. I think it should be 100. On the 4th anniversary 40, on the 5th anniversary 50, on the 6th anniversary 60, and so on. It's 100 stones. It's not going to bankrupt Dokkan. Trust me, if you have an extra 70 stones, it's not going to bankrupt Dokkan. Now, they are giving out a lot of stones. okay? It doesn't seem that they're giving us any less stones that we had before. So according to this, I'm saving the stones because I want to see how many stones I will get on my inbox after a certain amount of time. So far I've got about 200 in there with logins and missions and Dimer, connecting during when Dimer is airing. So all in all, those stones is not a huge complaint. I just would like, when we have events, to be done a bit more. Now, something that I have to criticize: no ALR's EZA. Surely we don't have a ALR EZA normal in part 1, but we have a pre-anniversary ALR EZA. We had that last year with ALR STR UI Goku. It just gives players, especially free-to-play players, new players, a 30 stone advantage if they can beat the event, usually with a friend unit. Usually you tend to do it, but it gives you a 30 stones head start for you to go and summon for the new unit. Now, with that roadmap, let me pull out the roadmap. Now, with this roadmap that we pull out from Dokkan, there is a certain expectation there that Saiyan Saga, top left, top of the page, Planet Namek Saga, one for GT, and one from Dragon Ball Super. There will be 6 ALRs EZA this celebration. So all in all, 30 stones each, 6 ALRs, 180 stones. So whereas my criticism is that we haven't had a pre-anniversary ALR, I do not think that not having ALR's EZA at this point in time is a bad thing. And why am I saying that? I'm gonna say that I put it in the bad category, potentially to be good. Because remember last year, guys, we had part 1 with ALR AGL Broly, we had the ALR Physical Gogeta, and they were super hype, and we've summoned for them, and they were absolutely incredible. And guess what? When part 2 came out, the best unit of the game came along with it. So perhaps having those EZAs on part 2 is not a bad idea, because if we have those EZAs now, we would do the EZAs, get this done, summon for these units, and we have nothing for part 2. So perhaps it's a blessing in disguising. I would love to have an EZA, a pre-anniversary EZA, just to set the theme, to have an extra unit that is doing good for different teams. That would be nice to see. But however, we've got to admit that the Super EZAs have been amazing. I know I'm already ahead on the bad category, but the Super EZAs, they've been very good. Vegito and Buhan, they are excellent. Buhan, it's absolutely fantastic. I've seen a lot of Buhan, but I do not have him at 100%. So for me, I can't use him fully to his potential. And today, on Sunday, we've got announcement for the Super EZA of Ancient Janemba and STR Gogeta. And they seem to be absolutely smashing, especially Janemba. Janemba seems like you're gonna put him in slot 1 at any time and he will be just fine, laughing his head off. Gogeta, I need to see in game. I think it feels for me that he needs a little bit of defense. He's got a 30% damage reduction, he can get up to 500% defense, but with stats, he might be really good and he might be deceiving because he doesn't have anything just jumping out of you, out of the screen for you. But still, we gonna let Dokkan off on that one, because Super EZAs, as much as they're great if you have the units. If you're a new player, you might not have those units. So you can go and do the EZA event, you can grind those stones and you do the Super EZA, but you don't have the character. And please, if you don't have the character, do not summon on EZA banners. Please, don't do that. Your stones are for the main Carnival LRs and Dokkan Fest LRs, the main ones, part 1, part 2. Guys, don't spend your stones anywhere. And if you're a new player and if you have your redstone, hold off to that until, perhaps until the end of this month, so you will know which characters got an EZA and which characters are absolutely busted, so you can buy those characters with your redstone. Don't go on the redstone barbershop buying STR Gogeta and Ancient Janemba, because they'll eventually be on some of those banners and you probably pull them with redstone in future events. So guys, that's it. Didn't want to be very negative, but I think I want to keep a record of what the 10th anniversary really is. I do not like the idea to compare the 10th anniversary with any other anniversary. I like the 10th anniversary to be set apart. It's a decade of Dokkan, it's a decade of a success of a mobile phone game who, until a couple of years ago, had made over $1.5 billion revenue. Dokkan, an extra 70 stones for players is not going to bankrupt you. Just hire up those rewards. We want free-to-play players to stay, to enjoy the game with us, to be with us, and you know, we're gonna have some more events part 2. Sometimes we have a part 3, EX part, and then it extends. We have his yay, and then it gets fired. But I do miss some new events. I do miss something like we have the blue zone, don't we? We have the red zone. It's 10th anniversary. Do a silver zone, an orange zone with similar to the Gods of Destruction. How about this, Dokkan? Do an event like the Gods of Destruction. Put the Gods of Destruction and their angels there. 10 stages. You beat them once a week and you get, I don't know, 40 stones, 50 stones. How about that, Dokkan? A new event for people to go through and grind some stones. Actually, I know if you're a new player, you will just go on this story event and then you just grind 1,000 stones if you put your mind into it. Story events, they are not hard and they give you quite plentiful of stones in there if you're a new player. But if you're a free-to-play player and you've been a while in the game, you might be sitting on your box with 300, 400, 500 stones and trying to think what you're going to summon on. Yes, it's a gacha game, they want you to spend money, but we also want to keep players in a game. If a player returns to the game and has 500 stones and he summons for the units and he gets nothing, as I said before, it just reminds the player why he left the game in the first place. The frustration of pulling the characters and not having anything. And I think people should have something rather than anything. So guys, enough of the rumbling on. I don't want to be negative. I'm just trying to hype up expectations. We know the first week of every celebration is all about the new units. So hopefully in the data download next week, we start seeing new events. We know that there is a Dragon Stone to come. We know the Dragon Stones, someone found it in a data download. Dragon Stones are the stones that you get, those silver stones that you get for every 50 Dragon Stones, the yellow Dragon Stones that you use in the game. But it hasn't been mentioned, but next week we are having a pre-stream, which might show the units. The following week we might have a stream with the kits and we have more information. So it would be nice. And I know that the Dragon Stones, you get 1 Dragon Stone for 50 stones that you used in the game for a certain period of time. Usually you have that in the the download celebration in August, and it encompasses the entire year of the stones that you've spent. It's really strange that you have a Dragon Stone on the data of the game with the 10th anniversary symbol there. If it's for, I hope it's not what we've spent since the worldwide celebration to today, because it's just 6 months. It won't give you many unless they up the rewards. What I would like to see, and now I'm being greedy, and now you can comment below and say, Tanoshi, you're so greedy, you just want the stone. I would love to see a Dragon Stone for every 50 stones that you've spent in the game since you've joined the game. I would love to see that. I would love to see that, because in this case, look guys, I know it sounds bad, but hear me out here. We're talking about a celebration with 10 years that is rewarding players for continuously spending in the game. Thank you players for giving us your hard-earned cash for the last 10 years. Here's a Memorial Dragon Stone for you. For every 50 stones you've spent in a game, you will have a bunch of stones. You can go claim some characters. I don't know, it doesn't need to be the new characters. It can be other characters that you can have dupes of. If you're a whale, you don't use those stones anyway. You don't use those memorial stones anyway because you have everything rainbow, mostly rainbow. So it's just something different. Please, Dokkan, it's the 10th anniversary. Make it special, make it different, make it hype. It's not a criticism. Once again, part 2 and part 3 will be about, in the EX part, will be about the content, about the events that you beat, new features, new things. So I'm looking forward to it. You can do better, Dokkan. You don't need to do like the other celebrations. It's 10th anniversary, we are hyped up, and we're with you. Guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Leave a like and subscribe if you're new. And boys and girls, it was Tanoshi here. Thanks for watching, and as always everyone, sayonara.